One of my favorite podcasts. This one's with Ali Bussa and has made a major impact in this industry this year alone. The deeper you go into this podcast, the better it'll be, the funnier it'll become. So stay tuned. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Los Cut It, and you're in the cut with today's guest. But first, let me introduce you to my co-host, my brother from another brother, Mr. Directed by Los. What's up, dude?
Dude, you're getting so much better at these intros.
You think so?
Yeah, super smooth.
I honestly feel like
before I used to be a little, used to think about it, but now it's smooth.
Now it's just.
Are you getting pros, bro?
But you know what's also dope?
Our
guest today, man. We got a special guest today. It's an honor to have her here early in her career because I promise you she's gonna go boom. No pun intended, Mr. Boom. But so
what was that?
But yeah, it's an honor to have her here, man. I wanted to reach out to her as soon as I just have a thing where I like to think that I have a thing where I can see certain things in certain individuals, and I saw a sparkle in her work and how she moves and how she operates, and I was like, dude, I gotta get her on because we all know, man, sometimes when people make it to the top, they're harder to reach, they're busier, and I wanted to just take full advantage and present the one and only, all the way from Las Vegas, Ms. Allie Bussa. What up, Allie?
What's up?
How are you?
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here, man. You came
appreciate it.
straight, well, not straight, but you came straight from Las Vegas, but we didn't have a conversation. We didn't talk anything. You're here now, so now we're going to break your story down and get to know you. How you feel about that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And then you already met Los. Los, how do you feel about it?
we met, what show? CT, right?
Orlando premiere.
Orlando Premiere.
Yeah.
Was it premiere? I thought it was CT.
I think I shot a cool video, right? I'm like, give me your
Oh,
phone.
I
And then I
know.
just
Nobody
fucking-
does that for me. I
Really?
just set up my tripod and I only have like still.
But dude,
videos
your
of me.
page is like clean. Like
Thank
Lo
you.
sent me your page so I could do my homework, and I was like looking through my homework just to answer, see what questions I came up with.
Yeah.
But it's like aesthetically pleasing.
Thank you.
Have you
I strive
always
for
been
that.
as creative as you are and as clean aesthetically?
Dude,
No.
no? What do you mean? No,
Like literally just no.
So
No.
one of my, before you answer that question and how you actually did that, one of my favorite things, and I was telling Jasmine, I was like, dude, this is so creative, and I'm surprised that I've never seen it anywhere else. And maybe you have, maybe you started it. But taking photos of your clients' shoes,
I knew you were gonna say that.
that to me was like, damn. Because I in my career, I've cut a lot of shoe heads, so I see some cool shit. But I never once thought about putting, most people want to show the haircuts they did or the outfits, but you were putting the shoes, and I thought that was a dope touch. Where did that come from?
You know what is crazy is the first barbershop I ever cut at was here in Chicago.
No
It
shit.
was Traditions Barbershop. They're actually on Ashland and Division.
They just opened one up in River North.
Yes. Yeah, they have like 6 locations here now. But Alex, the owner, would always post his clients' shoes with the chair. Like always. That was his
Dope.
thing. So I got it from him originally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But honestly, when I posted that, I got so much crazy feedback. Like people were like, this content's crazy. And I'm like, what? It's just shoes. But I mean, I think that fashion and hair and, everything, beauty just goes together.
It's always been evolving. Also, if you do get hot, because it's starting to get warm, I'll turn the AC on too. So you let me know.
I will let you know.
Because I know I'm starting to feel it with this
Yeah,
jean
it's a
jacket.
sick jacket.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
I actually told Los, I was like, I texted him, how's your studio? Is it cold? Because I'm wearing this jacket on the podcast.
Also, you want to take advantage of the cold weather since you don't probably get a lot
Exactly,
of
like,
layering back
yeah.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
she came in. I was like, yo, so how's it feel to be back in the coast? Like, I love it. I'm like, damn. Yeah, because it's
Them
hot in
layers.
Vegas, right? It's hot.
It is, but actually it's the same temperature in Vegas right now than it is here. So in the wintertime there, it gets to be like 30s, 40s. It just doesn't
Sick.
snow there. So
I mean, I'll take
miss
that,
the
yeah.
snow.
I bet you'll miss it for like a day, and then you'll be like, all right, I'm over it. Let
So
me
for
go back.
those who don't know or not too invested in the industry, how would you introduce yourself?
Ooh, nice.
Dang, like a full intro?
Because Los, you guys I'm sure knew each other, of each
No,
other, and
so-
seen each other's work. But like,
I
someone
invited her
familiar-
on here to get to know you because
Yeah.
when I started following you, same thing. I saw your work and I saw something unique about you. And then you can cut hair really well too. Like that just adds on to it. Your style and how you dress, how you present it, your little skateboard from the kitchen to the seat. To the, like, dude, stuff like that is like you don't see that every day, right?
Yeah.
So it's very like your cold plunges. Dude, she cold plunges every morning. And is it every morning?
Yeah, I mean, I stopped posting it because there's weirdos on Instagram, but yeah.
So every morning you would see this girl struggling, like
Wait, are you all about biohacking?
yeah, hell
Is
yeah.
that all like West Coast people or what's up?
It's
I feel like I'm West Coast
super.
because I do that. I do saunas, the fasting, all that.
Yeah.
So
It is.
she just, you watch like 4 videos of her struggling, and then she finally does it, and she does it, and I'm like, damn, dude, like that's motivating. So I get a lot of like great energy from your page. It's not just about cool haircut, just how you are, how you think. I do. It's just you just have a vibe.
I think you're a overall well-rounded individual, and that really just amplifies it in your page. It shows how like well-rounded you are, and overall you're very artistic.
Thank you.
But back to my question, how would you introduce yourself to someone that doesn't know you? Just in general, like, hey,
Crickets.
you know, this is my mission.
Hey,
this
I'm
is
Ali
what I like
Bussa.
to do. And you know, a little quick. Doesn't have to be too.
I'm Ali Bussa. My name's Ali Bessa.
Is it Bussa? I'm
It's
sorry.
Bussa or
Say
it's
this
Bussa.
time. Yeah,
Honestly, say however you want. In Italy, they say Bussa. In America, they say Bussa. So
What nationality?
I am Hispanic and Polish,
Oh, okay.
Mexican and
That's
Polish,
flex.
but my husband is Italian, so I took on
okay.
his last name.
Nice. Do you speak fluent Spanish?
No,
No.
my dad is Polish. He's American, so my mom never taught us Spanish. Her first language was Spanish, everything like that, and my dad doesn't know Spanish, so she never taught us, and it's a damn shame.
So okay. Oh, you see, that's news to me because I think you tagged me on a photo and you were saying something in Spanish. So when I read that,
I
I'm like,
pretend I like Google Translate.
when I read that, she was like, "Gracias amigo por el apoyo," like saying like like thank you for the support. And I read that and I was like, "Oh, she speaks Spanish. That's what's up." You're so lucky that you didn't just get in my car today when I picked you up and I just didn't just go crazy on Spanish on you.
I'm so glad. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would have been like, "¿Qué?"
¿Qué dices? No, that's dope. So Los wanted you to introduce yourself.
Yes.
But what I think
That's kind of
if
hard.
you could add on top of that, why don't you also share like, I know you posted a story not so long ago. You were saying that people were saying something in the lines of like you just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But then you were kind of addressing that, saying like, I've been around and I've
Yeah.
been doing work. So share that because now that the female industry in barbering is just so common now. It's like literally like so common. It's not even what it was 5 years ago when it was kind of like I used to be like, oh, you're a female barber. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now you're just like you're one of us. You're accepted. But how did all that happen, man? How was it when you first started? How long have you been cutting hair? Because I don't know how did you start, and how was that ride? And what's one of your biggest highlights till today? Fill us in.
For sure. So I guess to start with the introduction, my name's Ali Bussa. I am from Las Vegas, Nevada, born and raised. Moved to Chicago, started my career here actually. I went to Barber School in Chicago.
What school did you go to?
I went to Denmark. It's downtown on Wabash.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I actually went to school in Vegas for 3 months and I hated it. It was awful. And then I moved back to Chicago to finish school here.
Wow.
So luckily my credits transferred. My teacher in Vegas called me a trust fund baby and I was pissed and I was like, I'm leaving.
Why?
So, because it was just, I didn't fit in, like, and he just like assumed that I came from a wealthy family because I could freaking speak well. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I came to Chicago. I graduated barber school in December of 2017. I have been cutting professionally since January of 2018. So that makes me 4.5 years in the profession, which is not that long.
No, more.
4? Is it 5?
We're about to be 2024, so that's
Oh, yeah, it's
4.
four,
So
right?
five and a
Almost
half.
5. Right?
If you said 2018,
Yeah.
that's almost 5.5. I just added on another year to your profession. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So that's 5, and we're going into I don't know.
So it'll be 5 years
Yeah.
coming up in January.
Damn.
So I haven't been in the industry very long, but yeah, when I first started barbering, I knew that there weren't a lot of female barbers, and I was the only girl in my barber school. And so that was pretty tough, just having to try to fit in and not know anything. Because when I came into barber school, my first ever haircut or anything with hair was actually at school. So I was there with other people who've been cutting in their garage since high school, and I'm like, damn, like I'm so behind. And I remember my first haircut ever was a bald fade, and my teacher was like, go do it. And I'm like, okay. I actually Googled what is a bald fade before I went to the chair because I had no idea what a bald fade was. I was so outdated with like anything barber related. So yeah, I mean, at that time, there were not a lot of female barbers. Now, I feel like it's not as taboo of a topic to be like a female barber. But the industry has changed a lot in that way. And I'm really happy for that because, I mean, my first few years was really hard, honestly.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah. I probably went home crying every day for about a year and a half. And
Well-
I was like, I want to quit.
But why? What? How did you decide to do that? You wanted to do hair? How did you even? Because you spoke about barber school, but how did you get to barber school? What did you do for a living before? Did you have a job?
But when I went to barber school, I was 23, I think, 23, 24. So I was still pretty young, you know? So before barber school, so I guess I'll give you guys a background. So my mom is a cosmetologist. She's been doing hair
There it is.
for like
There it
37
is.
years. She's
There's
no
the roots.
That's what
joke.
we're waiting.
We're gonna scratch the surface.
And her uncle actually had a barbershop in Vegas. So it's kind of like third generation-ish, like runs in the family. When I was in high school, my dad was like, you should go to cosmetology school after you graduate. Because I would always be doing my friends' hair and makeup for prom and homecoming and things like that. And I'm like, like I see what my mom goes through. I don't want to have to deal with
Yeah.
that. That seems like a lot. So I actually went to college for sports broadcasting. And I was going to say this earlier because like I like this kind of stuff, like the mic and like
Yeah.
the camera. Like it's cool. I feel like this is my
Behind
my,
or in front of the
yeah.
camera?
Actually, both.
Yeah, I love both.
Yeah, both for sure. But yeah, so I went to school for sports broadcasting for 2 years in journalism, and then I found out that it wasn't actually like feeding me because I didn't grow up knowing about how to be a creative person. Not that my parents like didn't want that for me, but they just never expressed like there's creative people in life. Like I went to a private school, we didn't have art class at all. So to me, like I never exercised that muscle. But I knew when I was in college that something just wasn't right. So I left, I traveled around, I went to the Middle East, I went to Africa. I just kind of like tried to find myself and figure out what I wanted. And then one day my mom was like, you should go to barber school. And I'm like, what is a barber? So I Googled, what's a barber? Like, what does a barber do?
Dude,
How old
that,
were-
that
how
could,
old
that could
were
be
you?
one of the lines, Lowe's. What is a barber?
What is a barber? What's even a barber? Oh, you're just a barber? At the time, I was 22, 23.
Wow.
I'm 31 now.
She went to Africa for a month,
Yeah,
and she was gonna start telling me, and I had to cut her off. I'm like, nope, save it for the pod.
I know.
You're on the hunt for feeling fulfilled, right?
Yeah.
But what about you wanted more out of life? Like, have you always been that person that always wanted to explore more and feel that fulfillment in life? Or
Yeah.
what was it that sparked that curiosity in you?
Yeah, because you said
Was it your parents?
your
'Cause
family didn't
parents were
teach you
black and white.
creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't teach you
Yeah.
creativity.
Innocence.
So, what was it? Did your mom say barber? You probably looked it up,
Yeah.
and then what?
The stars aligned perfectly on that day she was born.
Oh, shit. Okay, so honestly, when I was 19, I traveled to Africa by myself for a month.
Holy crap!
I know. And my parents,
How do they feel about that? First,
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
I know. So my parents, honestly, they're pretty chill. I grew up very strict, but when I got older, they were kind of just like, you're an adult, like you're going to make your own decisions. We can't stop you.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to Africa and I'm going to go there for a month by myself. And so I did. And I'm trying to, what was your question? Oh, how did I?
Where did you get that spark of like
Yes.
wanting more? The unfulfilled.
So actually, when I went to Africa, when I came back, I told my parents, I'm selling everything and I'm moving to Africa.
a nomad.
Yeah. Because I'm a big like feel person. I like to feel things and I feel things deeply. So to help other people or to do something that was really life changing for other people, I am drawn and like attracted to that. And so barbering, I mean, I think I was let down for like 2 years when I was like, my parents said I can't move to Africa. That sucks. Because my parents were like, well, what are you going to do there? How are you going to make money? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to hang out with the kids there and like give them, a friend. And they're like, that's not realistic. So I'm like, okay, well, shit. I guess I'll move back to the US and try to figure out what I want to do. So I was pretty stuck for a while. And during that time, like I said, I just kind of tried to figure out what I wanted and what interests me. And then I guess during that time, barbering interests me because I'm like, oh, there's a lot of creativity behind it, and I wasn't tapped into my creativity at that time, but I had like a pull to that, and I didn't know why, so I kind of just went with it. I'm also a very big intuition person, so if I feel something is pulling me, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah.
Or keeping you away, you stay away, you know?
Yeah.
Same way.
I think that's important.
So you went to barber school. Did you go full-time or part-time?
Full time.
Damn, knocked it out, what, 1 year, 9 months, give or take?
1 year.
First barbershop, where was it? Did you say Traditions?
Traditions in Chicago.
How did you go about working there? And you just walked in there one day, or?
Man, so I actually hit up Alex, the owner, when I was living in Vegas.
Okay.
That was Instagramming hashtag Chicago barbershops. I saw his. I thought it looked really cool. So I was in contact with him, and I told him I'd love to work at your shop when I get licensed as a barber. And we just kept a relationship during barber school.
Dope.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
How long did it take you before you finally felt comfortable to be like, first, like around that time, what was popular in cuts? Was it still like short hair, like bald fades only? Or
Yeah.
did men start getting hairstyling? Because I don't think that started happening until like the last 3 years, maybe.
Recently.
So
I think, yeah, like short and then like a burst fade. Remember the burst fade was
Yeah.
huge in like 2018.
when did you feel comfortable enough to like really start? Well, first of all, how did that bald fade look in school?
It
The
was
first
okay.
time ever?
It was okay.
What was the number on it?
What do you mean?
Like,
Like
what did you
1 to
do?
10?
No. What did you do on him?
Oh, man. It was probably like a 0 to a 1.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't that, you know.
Super probably high and tight.
And he had like a little comb over.
Was he a white dude?
Wait, no, he was a freaking Samoan guy, and he was
Oh,
like
shit.
400 pounds, and it was because I was like, I was trying not to like turn the chair and stuff, and it was just a crazy
Did he have like
first experience.
a big neck with rolls?
Yes, it was the
For your
craziest.
first one, dude, that's the
hard.
worst. Fuck yeah, it's hard. It's just you gotta go in between all the cracks and like
Wait, how did
If
you
it's-
do it? Like you said, it was okay.
she's
right?
a go
So,
getter, bro.
Like, are you a
figured
good
it out.
good listener?
Yeah, I mean, my
good.
barber school teacher kind of came around he did a couple laps, and he was like, okay, do this next. And I'm like, okay. He's like, okay, now do open next. And I'm like, what is open? Like, what does open
Open
mean?
guard.
Yeah, but I had no idea.
So what clippers do you remember what clippers you had
I
that
used
time?
the Andis Master.
Oh, see, I as like masters, when I used to use the masters, I love those because they never took too much hair off. It wasn't like a wall or something that if you
Yeah.
slip up, you're just like yank. The masters took enough hair where you're like, whew, I can still save it because it's just giving more of a precise cut. So I enjoyed those for a while. But
For sure. You know, the craziest thing is he asked me for a straight razor shave after the haircut. I said, bro, this is my first haircut. Next time. Okay, I got you.
did you tell him that for real?
I did.
What did he say?
He said, okay, no worries.
Oh.
He was happy. I have a picture of him. He's actually smiling in his picture. So
Your first cut. You have a picture.
Dude.
of
Of course I do.
that's
Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah.
Did you
Okay.
think you're like, I better save this moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
I actually posted it on one of my reels recently.
That's
Really?
Yeah,
I gotta check it
I
out.
did.
we
All right,
definitely have to
so
check it out.
what was it that whole experience that he was actually happy, smiling, and you got through it? Did that kind of feed into the love of barbering?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
man, at that time, I just felt like I didn't know anything.
Well, I mean, technically,
'Cause I didn't.
Yeah, technically, you
Wait,
didn't.
wait. I still want to unpack the Africa. So, like,
Oh, sure.
how far was it from your first haircut to like when you were in Africa?
So when I got back from Africa, I was 20, and then I went to barber school when I was 23. So about 3 years.
3 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what?
There has to be something. Like,
How did
I
you
still want
survive
to get back
in
to it.
Africa for a month?
So I stayed at an orphanage, and
So they fed you for free?
yeah, you just like kind of
You're
took care of the
such
kids.
a
There's
savage.
something there. I still want to like go
No,
deeper.
that like all right, yeah, true. Because it's not every day you get a girl that just
Has been
at
around the
19
world.
or 20 just goes to Africa for a month, and to live. And I don't want to say poverty, but to be in
Yeah.
a shelter.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing if you're out there and
Kinda
you're spending
was.
money in a fucking hotel or you're spending money in a hostel. I get it, but for you to just put yourself in a situation like that, how was that? Did that like for me? Right, I've been fortunate enough to travel the world. And I get to see how people live all over the world, and I realize how spoiled Americans are, how rich we really are, and we're worried about the wrong things when people are out here living legit in
Yeah.
poverty. So, did you kind of get that type of feeling when you were in Africa, being around all those kids?
Yeah. I mean, they live in poverty and they're happy.
Did they think you were crazy for coming from America to be in their shoes?
Or
Or did you never get questioned?
So they spoke Portuguese.
Okay.
So it was kind of, there was a language barrier for sure. But I I've always been very like chill about everything. Like you can put me in any situation.
Libra,
And I'm gonna figure it out.
I know.
Not take life too seriously.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I like the finer things in life. I mean, obviously, like I'm really into fashion. I'm really into like dressing myself up. But if you tell me you're going to Africa for a month and you're gonna live in a tent and not take a shower,
You're gonna make it work.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I learned a lot when I was there, and it was definitely that. Like, I think that I saw there was people there living so impoverished, but they were so happy, and you're like, are we getting it wrong here?
Oh, we are.
And a lesson at 19 years old to see that, it really helped to shape my core values, even to being 31 today. It was a very important time in my life, for sure.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. So you did the Africa, got out of school, you worked at Traditions. I'm assuming this is around 24, 25.
We have any crazy stories in Africa? I gotta ask.
He's like
This
stuck
guy's-
on Africa.
I'm just
because
dude, I'm
dude,
just
it's not
genuinely
every
curious.
day. It's not every day, man.
Dude, yeah, it's like
Okay, yeah. So
Gotta
the
unpack.
kids there are actually crazy, insanely just. I'll give you an example. So basically, like prostitution and sex for money is worth a bottle of like Coke here. It's you don't get paid a lot. So they don't have birth control. So a lot of the women get pregnant. So it's not rare to see kids there who are 5 years old carrying babies on their back. They take care of them
Oh,
because the mom, the parents, whatever, they kind of just abandoned them. And so I think that for me, like the craziest story was we were in a hut and we were painting the girls' nails, and there was a language barrier, but you could definitely just feel like they felt valued. You know, like giving them the attention and like painting their nails for them. Like they felt like they were being loved and cared for because they don't get that.
right.
So to be able to like serve them, it was just an experience that like it would be hard to like recreate that anywhere else, you know?
also the feeling of empathy that you feel for these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Bro, just recently I was in Mexico City, and on Sunday night, which was the second night before the show ended, they wanted to take us out to eat, and they were like, "You guys pick whatever you guys want." And I'm like, "Cool." So they took us to this little Rodeo Boulevard looking. It was like a high end area. They took us there to eat, and they're like, "Pick anything you guys want." So we're like searching and looking for a place to eat. Like the guys that were kind of guiding us kind of kept walking towards Fogo de Chao, and I was like, "All right." I'm like, I could get this in America, but
Yeah.
I guess. So we get there, and it's probably the biggest table I've ever seen. And I'll show you the video later how big this table was. Over like 40 people in this table, but no one was there. So we were the artists. So we got there first, and then we started realizing that the entire company, like all the people that were working at the booth, stocking the shelves, like the whole squad that was a part of that weekend, ended up showing up for What a Chow. And I was like, oh, okay, that's dope. We start eating, and I'm in front of like Papi and all, just having a good time. And I'm looking around, all the guys that were volunteering to help were confused to like what these little flip cards were, like how does this work? Where's the menu? And I turn around and ask one of the guys, I'm like, yo, you guys ever been here? And they're like, no, first time. I'm like, oh, dude, you're in for a treat. Like, you never been here? This is crazy. They're gonna have a lot of meat. And I'm telling them, they're just like, no way. And then the guy in front of me is like, I never been here either. And then I'm like, well, who hasn't been here? And he literally pointed at everybody and said, nobody's been here before. This is the first time. And that's when I was like, damn, dude. Like, I go to Fogo's 3 times, 4 times a year by choice. It's so common. I've been there plenty of times. And I just looked at it like it was like, I don't want to go here. Like, whatever. And you got people here that have never experienced that, bro. When I told them that if you flip this green, that they were gonna keep bringing meats, and it happened, and people were coming in and bringing in all. They had their whole plate full of random meats because they just kept saying yeah to everything. They just blown. And that's just something minor. You start to really appreciate what we had.
It gives you perspective, which
Yeah.
also like ends up building your character. And this is why I really love asking these types of questions, because that's really how you get to know and empathize with so many people.
Yeah, you come back to America, dude, and you see how people react to like the dumbest things, like the stupidest little
Right.
little
'Cause
Karens
the
and all
grass
that.
is always greener on this side, right?
It's so unfortunate.
We're so spoiled.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Because from my experience, the first 5 years, I always tell barbers, when people come at me and say, how do I get to where you're at? Or how can I do this? And I get to it, I'm like, how long you been doing here? A year or 2. I'm like, just be patient. Just be patient because you're not going to know. I could tell you, but it's going to take time, bro. Just be patient. So I know the first 5 years is more of like you prove to yourself that you can hang.
Yeah.
where do you see? What's your goal? What do you want in the next 5 years? Like, what do you want to do?
What a question. So I think that after taking that Menspire class that I was telling you about that I took, that kind of really reshaped and repositioned where I see myself. I really like to help people, obviously. I have a heart for that. So I really feel like I see myself being a dope educator for barbers in an all-around sense of I'll teach you how to fade dope, but also how to do dope shear cutting. And I'm going to teach you all of that. And that's kind of like where I see myself.
Like being an educator?
Yeah.
More for like a school or like a platform?
But maybe more like independently. I don't know if I see myself really with a brand necessarily. Yeah. If I say right now, I don't see myself with a brand, but I'm open to it, and I don't know what that looks like, but that's kind of where I see where I've caught my vision, and that's where I want to go, and so that's kind of just like what I'm striving for now.
Allie is her own brand.
Yeah.
Also, you have awesome haircuts that are like very West Coast UK inspired. So like, where do you find these models?
Honestly, they're just my clients. I wish I had cooler clients because I would do even cooler haircuts.
Damn, like cooler clients.
I wish I had cooler clients.
But the mullets you got going on, I mean, you know what?
Mullets, yeah.
Have you tried like just finding people?
Yeah.
Nothing?
It's hard.
Really?
Yeah. It's hard.
But you know what? So check this out. Bones to Go gave me a good idea because we always struggle with models when we go to every city.
Yeah.
So he was like, why don't we do this next year, 2024? And I hate to, sorry, Bones. I'm a leaker. I'd be leaking. I'm not a gatekeeper, bro. Like, if I hear a good idea, I got to share it with the world. But he was like, sorry, Bones.
Shout out,
He was
Bones,
like,
man.
we should hit every time, like, for example, we got a show in this city, look up whatever barber schools are near in that city.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go there the day before and talk to them or reach out to them. We'll give free haircuts to anyone that wants to be a model. And those are students, so they're probably going to be willing to do it. And I'm like, dude, that was a great idea. I mean, that's so dope. So have you thought about, when I was in Vegas doing the tour, I went to like 4 or 5 schools.
You went to the barber school I went to.
Did you? Which one?
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Yeah, that one, is that the one with like red, white, and blue jackets and all that?
Yeah, that's the one I did.
That was, you didn't like it? Why?
That's the one the teacher called me a trust fund baby. And he almost kicked me out of the school. You know why? He goes, dudes aren't paying attention to my class, and it's because they're trying to talk to you. And I'm like, I'm not trying to talk to anyone here. So that sounds like their problem, not mine.
He was trying to.
I almost got kicked out.
Wow.
Yeah, me. I never get kicked out anywhere.
Yeah, I did a speech there. It's a huge school. Like they got an operation in there.
It is.
How did you overcome those struggles? Because I'm sure you've had very niche struggles. So like, how did you overcome it? Yeah, I'll ask the second part to this question after it.
She's still battling the
I know, right?
She's
Like,
still fighting.
how did
How
I
do you do
overcome?
it?
I have not
How
yet.
do you do it? Or how did you overcome the ones that you, for anyone that's listening that is inspired like you to be a barber and being able to do what you do?
So I grew up with a brother, and I played Little League Baseball. I've always been hanging out with the boys. So I know how to kick it. I know how to shoot the shit, and I know how to hold my own. But let me tell you, if you're just like a regular girl coming in a barber school,
Yeah.
you got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But
Well, all right. So we could take that and agree. But what kind of advice would you give somebody who is just a regular girl that's attending barber school?
don't take anything too personal.
True.
Obviously, as females, we are a little bit more emotional, and that is okay. But you kind of have to learn how to not be. As hard as that is, you kind of have to put aside your like natural instincts and kind of just roll with the punches, and not take everything so personal.
And I think that's the biggest issue. A lot of girls that I've known that worked at barbershops all have the common issue where they just can't get along with the boys.
Yeah.
And from the boys' perspective, like I'll hear words like, "Oh, she's just a princess. She's the princess of the shop," or "She's like this. Okay, mom," like all that. So I can see why they would bump heads. I actually escaped the barbershop life by the time that I was already becoming a thing. Like it wasn't maybe one girl in a barbershop was okay, but
Yeah.
now, dude, you got girls that are just. I know female barbers that are better than male barbers, like in a lot of
yeah.
aspects already. And then before, like when it first started happening, like the idea of having some girl that could cut hair and be really good, like that didn't exist. Like it was more about like, oh, they do shear work or they could style your hair. But to see like people like Nicole, like you, I mean, you're here to kill cuts that like, dude, I know guys that have been doing hair longer than you and still can't get to that level. That is what makes me be, like, dude, girl. And I've said, I don't know, I had a podcast in Vegas and I said something in the lines of like, dude,
It was so facts. I remember what you're talking about.
oh yeah. I was like, dude, if women, like the way they're operating, the way they're getting better at this, and if they keep their shit going, dude, they're gonna take over this male dominant industry because guys are just content. Like they're just cool with just doing a couple cuts and doing the, where girls, the females want to strive, dude. They buy their own stuff. They're there. They show up. Yeah, they might have 6 cups of water and coffee, but they're on their shit.
Very deep.
Yeah, like they're really like
Yeah.
on their shit.
Very
And I've seen it happen. They'll clean their station. They'll wipe their sweet. They'll buy all their, like, bro, I've seen it. They'll spray their station, smell good. Like,
Yeah,
so-
we're not borrowing no one's half guard. We have our own.
100%.
Plus 2 more.
Exactly. So me seeing that over the years, dude, I could just do the math, and the math is math until if guys don't step it up. Which now is, I'm proud because, dude, when I was cutting hair, there was no such thing as like an elevated barbershop. Now you see it on Instagram. People are dressing up. People are doing like, I love seeing that, but it's still a long ways to go, man.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But what have you learned about being about? I know you said you got your brothers and all that, but being at a barbershop, what have you taken away from being around, like just men in general?
Men like to play. Men are like children. And for real, you guys really are. I mean, shit, I work with a majority of men, and you guys think differently. You understand things differently, and you talk about things differently. But not to even diminish you. It's just that we're very different.
100%.
And once you learn that, like I said, you just accept you for who you are, and you're just like, yeah, they're just them, you know.
So would you rather work at a salon with women or a
Hell
barbershop with women or a barbershop with men?
Definitely with men,
Why?
because I've always got along with men better, which is the reason why I never wanted to go to cosmetology school. I was bullied by girls in high school, and I've just kind of had that like scar from other women.
resentment, yeah.
And so I think like growing up with a brother and like doing all the tomboy stuff, I've always just gotten along with men better. So I do think now it's interesting that there are, like you said, there are like 4 girls in the barbershop now. That can get a little tricky maybe.
And what's
you know?
crazy is it could be 3 or 4 girls in a barbershop and they don't even get along.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, the thing about guys, okay, the only thing that I can say about men is that sometimes our egos will get in the way.
Yeah.
You know, we'll sit here and we'll bet on a team or a game, and something happens, the ego will kick in. But at the end of the day, the next morning is brotherhood. All right, my bad, bro, my bad.
Yeah.
With women, I've learned is like, oh, bro, cat fights.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, we're mad
like
until
it's
next
hard.
year.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's harder for women, right? In general, just to
what
like,
way?
because there's so many instances where I've heard the same kind of issue where it's like girls are mean.
Yeah.
Girls are mean. At least for guys, are like we get mad at each other for like a day and
Yeah,
then
it's
like,
just
it's like
cool,
whatever.
whatever.
You
but,
don't take it so personal.
it's like-
for real. Yeah.
How did you overcome that though?
Well,
Well-
so I didn't work at a shop with other females. I was the only female here in Chicago. And then I worked at a shop in Nashville, and there was one other girl, and her and I kicked it. And we were super cool because she was kind of the same vibe as me.
Nice.
And then when I went to Vegas, I worked at a barber studio, a 3-chair barber studio. The owner was a female. She was super dope. She was same vibe as me.
awesome.
So,
Good experiences.
yeah, very good.
You also amplify the same thing that you're also kind of taking in. So I guess in a sense you surround yourself with good people and you amplify that, but also it kind of comes back to you in the same way.
Yeah, I
Plus,
think
you-
that's important.
You're also like, you mold into like you can blend in anywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the nonchalant in you is like you like me, right? They say like Leos are where you could throw us in anywhere and we're gonna make it work. We're gonna figure it out. And I feel like that's kind of how you are. You kind of go with the vibes and you decide, all right, I don't want to, or you know what I mean? I want to keep doing this.
Definitely.
What made you decide to go solo? Like when was it that you just like, you know what, I got to be by myself?
So Vegas, so Nevada is very strict with their licensing. I know in Chicago they're not very strict at all.
Loose.
Yeah, very. And so when I I originally got my barber license in Chicago in 2017. When I moved to Nashville, it transferred over, reciprocity, no big deal. When I moved to Nevada, they said unless you have 5 years under your belt professionally, you cannot be a licensed barber. You have to go take the test again. You have to apprentice for 2 years. You have to take the test again, and then you have to
Fuck
pass.
that.
Wow.
I had to do that. So
And you did it?
I had to do
Oh
it.
my god.
Imagine, Los.
Oh my god.
I was pretty hurt by it, honestly, because I felt like I was taking a step back in my
Yeah.
career. And so I did it. And I stayed at the barbershop for 2 years, and the girl, her name is Lima, and we created a good relationship. And after I took my test and passed, I was like, it's time, because I've been held back kind of for 2 years to go on my own and do my own thing. So that's really what it was. And I actually almost quit doing hair last year in the summer.
Last year in the summer.
Yeah. I was like, damn, like I feel like I have so much to give, and I have like built this craft, and like it's not getting recognized. And I was like, barely had like 1,200 followers on Instagram, and I was posting all the time, and I was like, I'm over it, man. Like this is just not for me. I think I'm just like, I'm done. And I was actually going to go into interior design, because at the time we had
You're
just
a
finished our
beast,
house.
by the way.
Well, that
Thank
explains
you.
the sick
Dude, a
shop.
beast. But we're gonna get to that. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I was gonna just quit completely, and then I had got a phone call and was like, hey, this brand is looking for an educator, would you be interested? And I'm like, all right, I think this is where I'm gonna try it, and maybe this is where it turns for me. And now today I look at it and I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't quit.
It's crazy because you skyrocket. You know
Yeah.
when so there's a few people in the industry that are in the high that make moves like in the high and like up there. And when I hear whispers of your name coming through out of their mouth, that's when I know I'm like, oh, I was right. Like when people
That's
are talking
crazy.
about you, when I hear your name come out of nowhere, those people's mouth, and then I hear things like, yeah, but they got her already. I'm like, they got it. You know, I hear things like that. But
Yeah.
I already had my eye on you since I seen you in Orlando Premiere or
Yeah.
CT. I forgot where I met you. And
It
you
was
were on my
Premiere.
dude, you were on my flight, right?
I know.
And to think about, and I'm sure you can agree, you can spot a barber a mile away. I can spot someone that's in the beauty industry a mile away. And that little balayage you had in the back, you had a bob with a little color.
Yeah, it was a dip dye.
Yeah, and I seen that, and I was like, okay, she's somebody, makeup, hair, but I noticed that. Didn't think anything of it when I seen you at the show, and I realized I'm like, oh shit, that was her. And I finally gave you a follow. That's when I was like, dude, like I saw something in you, and I saw a cut on the Explore page, and I think I told you,
Yeah.
and I was like,
That was only May of this year. Isn't that
was
crazy?
it? That
was
is
May.
damn. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
seen that, and then I'm like, holy fuck, that's Allie. What are the fucking odds that I see you in person, then out of nowhere on the Explore page, her
It
cut
knows,
comes
bro,
up.
it knows.
It knows, is listening. And I shot her a DM. I'm like, dude, I literally saw this cut, thought it was dope, and I realized it was your page, and I followed you back. And then from then on, I'm a fan, dude. Like little things you do, you move differently, and it's so dope. You put on for the ladies that are barbers, and you've grown. Like you've grown, your following is growing. So, congrats to
Yeah.
that, man. How does that? Yeah,
How did you manage to stand out and gain that following?
I have no idea. I seriously don't. Like, because I feel like I have a lot of people who ask me, how did you gain a following? And how do I do this? And that?" No, it's-
Consistency.
Yeah, for real though.
You post
Consistency.
I know sometimes when I have a busy day or a busy couple days and I'm busy and I finally have time for Instagram and your name pops up, I know that story's about to have dash, 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 and you're going to fill me in with your entire day. That is what makes me feel like, oh, I just caught up with her day. So when you post shit, it brings me in. But that's consistency, bro. She always
What's your
is
secret
active.
sauce, Allie?
She's always active.
Tell us your secret
The
sauce.
skateboard.
Man, you know what? For real, the skateboard for sure.
That should be wild, dude. That is so dope.
I think that, okay, so it's crazy because what are we in? November?
Yeah.
So, like, around when Carlos started to follow me in May, I think I had about 3,200 followers. Today I
Are you
have-
serious?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I have 3,600 followers, or 36,000 followers now.
Damn, in
So-
5 months.
Yeah. It grew quickly. It still kind of hasn't hit me. I feel like a lot of my success just happened this year quickly, and it kind of doesn't feel real. And I'm like, okay, like I don't even really know what's happening. This is weird. Consistency, yes. I do think it's kind of like a mesh of like being at shows. I think that's huge because I think the Instagram algorithm knows Lowe's Credit started following me. Poppy Blend started following me. I'm going to put your post on an explore page for other people in that realm to start seeing you. So I think that all of these things just kind of happened. But what I will say first and foremost is that I stay me always. And I think that being me has allowed me to have the success that I've had today. Because I don't try to be anybody else. I just want people to know
that's
me
why
as
you're
me.
so fucking dope. Were you always into fashion? Like, did you always dress the way you do, or is that something that just came out?
I've always been into fashion, but I think that my fashion has evolved over time.
I think
My
in general,
thrifting and stuff like that.
I think in general, you're just a creative at heart, right?
Yeah,
what
I mean,
But she said she was never creative.
But no
never
matter,
was.
How did that
matter-
just-
I guess no matter what platform you presented it, whether it's writing or podcasting or fashion or hair, you're always amplifying this creative endeavor, I guess, in a sense.
yes, and that is what I want my page to show. So I'm happy that you say that because I always tell people barbering is an outlet that I do, but I am an artist first and foremost because I like barbering, I like photography, I like fashion, I like interior design. I believe that an artist flows in so many different.
You know what it is, dude?
lanes.
It's your eye that's the shit. Like, yeah, your skills, your hands, your hair, but it's your eye, how you see things. Like the way you, like I don't know if it's built, but the way you remodeled your crib, like that aesthetic, is so dope, dude. It reminds me of like, I'm not sure if this is what you were going for, but it reminds me of like,
Say it. I need to know.
I didn't no, but in a good way, in the
Yeah.
most
No, just say it.
happy, like that Brady Bunch 70s
Hell
vibe.
yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. And a lot of people, like I could mention to certain people Brady Bunch, like you probably don't even know what the Brady
Don't
Bunch
know
is.
what you're talking
Right.
about,
How old are you?
26 now.
Okay.
Yeah. But you get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I see that, I can appreciate that because it's like seeing the 70s but in 4K 2023.
Mid-century modern.
4K.
Yeah. Like because you see the old shows and the shit's old, like camera's old, all that. But seeing like her the way she records everything, I'm just like, and when I first started following you, I noticed that right away, but I didn't know that was you. And then you started posting on how, like, when you first bought the house, how you remodeled it, what it looks
Yeah.
like. And I'm like, dude, seeing your turtle, seeing your dog, like, your whole vibe, I'm like, dude, it feels like a mixture of Edward Scissorhand vibes / the 70s. I'm not lying to you. Because
Where did Edward Scissorhands come from?
so you don't remember? So that was like in the
Oh.
50s and 60s, the way their houses were made.
Yes.
The way they were all dressed up like pinups, that vibe, it reminds me of that. Plus,
That's a vibe.
it is. It's so. If
Yeah.
you watch that movie again, you'll be like, "Damn,
No,
watch
for
that
real,
that's
there's
Allie's
a lot
crib."
of inspo though. You know what's crazy is when we remodeled our house, I did not. So our house style is mid-century modern. Our house was built in 1971. So I told myself I have to have 70s vibe in here because I want to pay homage to the original house.
So right. The 70s.
So I didn't know what that style even was. So I was heavy on Pinterest for about 3 months, just trying to see what's modern, but what's 70s, what's 60s. And so I just put it together, and that's
So
yeah.
dope. The colors, the green, the orange, the yellow, all-
Yeah,
dude, so
brown.
dope. Yeah.
Thank you.
How's your husband like it?
He is definitely more of a neutral guy. He likes gray, white, tan, blue. So he's like, this is a little too much color for me, but whatever.
Nah, someone that takes like for me, if I was to get married or if I had a wife or if I bought a house with somebody, that's not my lane.
Yeah.
I can appreciate a clean house and all that, but dude, I'm a simple dude. I don't
Yeah.
like. But if someone's eager to hook it up, I'm with
Make
it.
it happen.
Whatever you like, just make it homey. Make me feel like at home when I'm home.
For sure.
But dude, my crib simple, bro. I like, yeah, the view is nice and all that, but I don't have like any. Dude, I got one picture in my house, and it's not even hung up. It's a picture of me and my parents that I just keep like on
on the floor.
not even on the floor, like where my TV goes.
Okay.
I just lean it against the wall, cause to me, yeah, I live there and I've been there for a few years, but that's not home.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna hang. If it doesn't feel like a home, I'm not gonna hang stuff up. So I just keep it real simple.
Yeah.
But if I was with somebody at that apartment and she wanted to hook my shit up, yeah, go ahead. Let's go crazy. Make it home.
Yeah, it's funny. So my husband, every design that I picked, every tile, every color, every furniture piece, I passed by him.
Oh, nice.
And he was like, yeah, okay, it's cool. Well, tell me why. Like a year later, he's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually don't really like any of this stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, I thought you liked it. And he's like, no, it's just like not my style. But he lives there. It's cool. I mean, we get a lot of compliments on our house. He knows our house is dope. So, like, what can he say?
Yeah, no, it's dope.
Can't say nothing.
It's dope, and you take good care of it. It's always clean. Like, it always,
Yeah, there's something so
yeah.
magical about having your home look its best and clean.
But it's so
like
unique,
very
Los. It's
therapeutic.
so unique.
But there's a subcategory of people that understand. If you get it, you get it.
Yeah. It brings a lot of peace of mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so you got the interior designing, your haircut, your personal style, the way you post content is dope. What do you use to? And I gotta assume you use your phone a lot, right? Do
Yeah.
you own actual camera that you work with, or is all straight iPhone?
Straight iPhone. Typically, I use a Sony A5100. They don't
Okay.
even make it anymore. I'm trying to upgrade my camera, but honestly, like the iPhone
That's
is
so
so
good.
good.
So good.
What do you use to edit?
I use Splice. It's an
I
app.
like Splice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy.
You know what, man? People have been trying to push me to CapCut all the way.
CapCut, yeah.
And CapCut is dope, but something about Splice that I'm able to do something a
You're
little
able to
different.
splice it.
I'm able to splice it up a little bit.
Good.
You know what I mean? But CapCut, they've been going ham, dude. They've
I
been
think
going
They
ham.
have
Whatever-
captions
whatever.
on there, right? Those
Yeah,
cool
the auto
captions.
captions.
Yeah,
That's
those
why
are
I use it.
cool.
It's so-
Those are cool.
But how do you get your captions through Instagram?
I only use the Instagram captions.
Okay. Well, that helps your
okay,
algorithm though. It's supposed to push your
Really?
yeah. If they say any edit or anything,
any filters,
anything you use that Instagram has, it'll push your
Voiceovers.
anything.
Yeah.
Hey, what's like something that like you're breaking the rules in barbering that you do, but that helps you out? Like you're breaking the rules, but you do it. It's you. So you.
Oh my gosh, I use a stool to cut hair.
Stop. Oh, like because you're too short. But that's not
I
breaking
don't
the
know.
rules.
That's not really breaking the rules.
Be more specific. What do you mean breaking the rules?
Like instead of using shears, you use like I don't know, like
Oh, like a clipper or something?
know.
I honestly don't break the
something
rules.
unique to you. You're like, I prefer this instead.
Oh man, I don't know if I can answer
Or
that.
maybe something that she does that's out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
And it's something like, I think that's what kind of what he's asking. Is there anything that you do that you
Any
decide to do your own way?
technicalities or anything, or it can even be for like content or anything.
Like, do you
that.
dry
anything
shave?
that's different that you do?
Do I
like,
dry
no.
shave? I hate that.
I know I only said that because you always
do
use your steam. You use your. So how do you get detailed? You don't dry shave at all?
Hell no.
That could be one, right?
I know. I get the benefits of it, but I don't.
But why? Is it just because you personally don't like that feeling, or
I
you
feel
think
like
you're
it's
hurting?
uncomfortable for my
No,
clients.
it's not uncomfortable at all.
Really?
Do you have a heavy hand? Do you think you have a heavy hand?
I actually have a very light hand.
Me too. So yeah, if you got a light hand, it's not uncomfortable. It actually makes if I was getting lined up, and you just lathered my whole forehead up, and you started hitting me with the razor, I wouldn't get that sense of just getting me crispy because it's too lathered up. It's too moist. I don't feel that sharpness. You know what I mean? Where what I do is I lather my people up, I line everything up. When I sit them up, it's no longer lather. Then I'll go in there while it's dry and detail the
Okay,
work.
I do that. I
Okay.
do that. I don't go in for a dry shave
Oh,
automatically.
okay.
though.
So yeah, maybe I
Okay.
refer. Yeah, okay. I didn't mean like just shave everything
I was
dry.
gonna say.
No, no. Like I guess when
Yeah,
I use
no.
the term dry shave, it's more for detail.
Yeah.
It's not for
And then you
legit.
create that nice little
Edge.
chalky white line. Yeah. No,
So-
I
so
do
you
that.
know that chalky white line is why you got young barbers now drawing white lines all over the people's lineup?
I did know that. You know what? Tell me why I was at an expo in Salt Lake recently and these kids in barber school were like, how'd you get that white line on the beard? I'm like, it's just dead skin.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything to show off, right?
So back in the
it's
day,
kinda
no,
gross.
no.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
like-
so back in the day, cause when I first started working at a barbershop, I was 15. That was it all. I was the only Mexican there. It was all African Americans, and they would do these. They would sharpen up their clippers so crazy that they would just line these people up, and you just knew it was just all ash. It was like,
Yeah.
but it looked so crispy. And this is
I think
before
it's just the
social,
contrast,
this is
right?
before social media. It just you wanted the client to look at themselves and be like, damn. But as soon as that man showers, this shit's
Gone.
gone. But for a while, people would start taking photos with the ash line,
Okay.
and then out of nowhere, bro, some genius decided to start using a pencil and selling and saying that's what it was, and they just became a thing, and now
Yeah, that's
everyone's
crazy.
using it. And because I come from all that, I can never accept it because I get why new barbers do it, but come on, you really like you see anybody with the white chalk? Like, imagine, dude.
Yeah.
And I've seen a few people at restaurants. I'm not gonna lie. At a night out, I'm eating, and I look at my man's just got the white chalk. He's fresh, but he got the white, and I'm just like, nah, bro, that ain't it. And then the part right when the comb over started coming out, the haircut.
This is me being dead.
Check her out. I told her she was gonna be
It's official.
first
It's
class.
official.
First class on the on the podcast.
You're the first one who's ever
Reclined.
actually reclined the actual
Move
seat.
that mic
You gotta show
closer.
off them boots. You gotta show off the swag.
Wait,
with the
hold
coat.
on. If we zoom, oh, there you go. Nah, that's sweet. There you go. Just
You can pull it down all the way too.
Yeah, there you
there you go. There you go.
so now I can't see her. Now I got
So Allie, tell us. Where are the aliens?
Area 51, obviously in Las Vegas.
How close is that to you?
What do you know? What do you know about
How close is that to you?
Like
Listen,
an hour
listen.
away.
Stop.
Listen, you gotta know something. Come on.
Well, you were living there when they were talking about storming the fucking Area 51.
Yeah, and did you guys see the aliens landing in the backyard of the people?
Yeah, I did. What happened?
No.
What happened?
You
What happened?
didn't?
I mean, I've seen that, but I meant more like
I saw
tell me
TikToks.
more. Like what?
It was in the summertime this year.
Yeah.
Aliens landed in somebody's backyard and they disappeared.
Yeah, I saw the video. Of
I
the
saw the
family,
video.
and it looks so genuine because the family. You see the family like all scared.
They're
and, like,
for real.
Like in their backyard, they're terrified. They're like, I don't know what language they were.
Do you
talking.
think they're from outer space or in the ocean? in
I
the
definitely don't
mountains?
think the ocean or the mountains. I think that aliens are in a different dimension and somehow they crossed over into our dimension. And that's how they accidentally crashed where they did.
Mm.
And then
You went deep with it.
yeah, and then when they went away, they went into their other dimension because how else would they disappear?
That is true.
How does that make sense?
You're going so fast, like faster than the speed of light, and then you just
I never thought of that concept.
Yeah.
So like ghosts, so to say.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
they were just looking at from the spaceship. They're just looking at us like these guys,
Bro,
trying to kill themselves.
Can you imagine?
'Cause I can't see you.
Can you imagine it being a medium and like
Talking to people?
No, not even talking. Just being like right now, we're all in a room full of people, but then being a medium, there's like 10 extra people in the room.
Yo,
that,
have you guys-
that only you can see?
Have you guys gotten your
You're like, hey, hold on. Someone's talking to me right
And
now.
they're like fucking bleeding. They're bleeding and shit.
right?
So it's
like there's no head and everything.
Yeah.
They're just bleeding from one side of their head.
so it's like it like people that are mediums is like wow, if that's really true. That's insane. How they
Wait,
just,
so do you actually know anything about like Area 51 since you live there?
No,
Any
it's very
stories? Any crazy
hush-hush.
stories?
It's super hush hush.
You gotta have a client that maybe works in there, you know?
I do. I have a client's
Stop.
wife
Stop.
who works there.
Stop.
And I'm like, tell me everything. And
okay,
he's like, oh, I don't know anything. So
I'm intrigued now.
I know. Trust me.
what does he do there?
She runs like,
Oh shit.
she's like a project manager for certain things that go on there.
Have you heard of Bob Lazar?
Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did Joe Rogan? Did you hear how all the shit that he was going through?
crazy stuff. Where
Yeah,
is
yeah, at Area 51?
Yeah.
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 I'm a very big conspiracy head for
Same,
anybody
me
who
too.
doesn't know me like that.
Same.
Wait, what's your biggest conspiracy? wanna share?
Oh, wow. I have a lot of them.
Give me like the best one.
All right,
Sure.
9/11. What do you think of that?
I think it was set up.
All right, good. All
Sorry.
right, proceed.
Moon landing.
Moon landing.
I
Yeah.
knew it was fake.
Yes. Oh,
think I
dude.
plus on that,
Yes,
honestly.
100%. All right, what else?
Do you guys think the earth is flat or no?
I'm
I'm like on the fence about that.
on the fence too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
I mean, the way Elon always explains
it's
it,
hard to
just
say
like-
because this is going on the internet, dude, and anybody could just take anything and go
For
crazy
sure.
with it. So I'm trying to always choose my words carefully. I do not think the earth is flat, but I also don't think it's a perfect planet. Like, you
Like
know,
this?
do you know? Yeah, do you know that there's no real photo of the earth ever? It doesn't exist. Everything you know that you see has all been photoshopped.
I believe that.
Yeah, so every photo that you've ever seen of Earth, it's not a real photo, right?
yeah.
So, one, there you go. Two, I don't think we can leave our atmosphere. I think that we do have like a, what is it called? A fair,
You think so?
I think
Kind
so,
of like
bro.
the Truman Show. The
Yeah.
Truman Show.
I think there's
Okay,
more
wait,
land
I have
beyond
my craziest conspiracy. Go ahead.
Antarctica. I think there's more land behind the ice.
Bro, what if there's like a portal that's where like the aliens go
Who
to?
fucking knows?
Did you hear that there's like a government underground thing in Antarctica? Like there's like an underground world that only the government can access.
Maybe.
In Antarctica.
I didn't hear about the.
Bro,
maybe.
remember when we went to the Denver airport and there were just like signs
Yeah.
and stuff?
Have you been to Colorado?
Of course,
Yeah.
that
So-
airport is.
Yeah, it's
Bro,
Do you know they just took down the Nazi stuff there?
they just took down the Nazis.
They took it down. Like
No,
they,
I didn't-
yeah.
I didn't even
there
know
was
there
like
was Nazi
Nazi paintings there.
I know there was like devilish painting, and then the horse with the red eyes and all that.
Yeah.
the horse with the
People be saying that it gets eerie feelings when they go to. I've gone to Colorado a lot. It's always been a vibe, but I see all that shit, and they're so open with it. They'll have signs that says, "Are we building
Bro,
underground
right, they're like
this,
fucking
or
us.
are we just doing construction?
They're just like, here, let me just shove this.
Are we working with the devil, or are we just building like?"
Or bro, what if they're just telling that so we can
right.
disregard
That's my
the
point.
the
Exactly.
options. You're
They're
like,
just so open with it. You don't even know what to think. You're like, and then you hear about that. you hear about that, and you're just
hold it
like,
right here.
but dude, they say that the the bunker for the U.S. president is underneath that airport. Like if shit hits
wouldn't
the
be
fan,
surprised,
that's
man.
where that bunker
Yeah.
is on the ground.
Man, that's so crazy. Anything like crazy that you've seen personally in Vegas?
Yeah,
or
what's
here?
been like your most traumatic experience in life
In Vegas?
in general?
Oh, that's a deep ass question.
Well, here's
Well,
traumatic.
I-
I'm more on like ghost UFOs in Vegas.
Well, yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning for. Not like did you
Or
ever get
traumatic,
attacked?
too, or like-
Like, personally?
just just be like when I was 8.
Well, when I was 4,
Back when I was in Africa. Oh, like we almost survived this crazy like
there was a rhino.
experience.
There was a fucking rhino.
rhino.
Oh,
okay, anything traumatic in Vegas? I mean, Vegas is pretty chill. Vegas is a big suburbia
Except for the sphere.
place. Yeah, the
Except
sphere.
for
Now it's like everybody comes to Vegas for the sphere now, right?
yeah. It's pretty crazy. I've never
Can you
been
see it
inside.
from your house?
No,
Or
never.
how's it work?
Nah. But
because that's
you-
on the strip, dude. You got to be on the
But
strip
you
to
can
see
still
it.
see it from like miles away.
listen though, I am 5 minutes from the strip. So I have a strip view in my backyard.
Wow.
But I can't see the sphere from where I live.
Yeah, because you're on the other side. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to go. Go
It's
see,
cool,
go see
yeah.
you too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what songs U2 play, but they play like movies there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
go.
yeah, I know they're
Yeah.
sick.
Dude, imagine a movie and that shit.
Honestly,
Concert, bro.
yeah,
A
that would
whole,
be
like,
kinda crazy.
event.
That you seen that YouTube premiere? That was fire. Like when
Fire,
the YouTube first played there.
Yeah, YouTube.
The way it
YouTube. So
looked?
YouTube's like California West Coast inspired rock band. My parents used to
Okay.
listen to it a lot. So like
I know like one of their songs, I think.
yeah, no, they're sick. They made like a Joshua Tree inspired album. It's sick,
Okay.
but very West Coast inspired. But yeah, they had like birds and like the whole showing the whole
Dude.
desert, like a
Imagine
see-through.
like taking something that's
Some mushrooms.
Oh my god! Have you
Dude,
ever
dude,
done?
dude,
have you
dude,
ever
dude, I
done-
gotta- okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I've never done
Okay,
it.
I've never done them, but I'm always intrigued
Man,
by like every week.
whoever's watching this, you're really getting to know me.
And this
that's
is
what
what
we're
we
here
do. This is
We're
what we
in-
do.
Don't judge me. I'm a big fan of
No, you know
mushrooms,
what? You probably relate more to people now by people hearing you. You know.
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not against doing mushrooms. I always hear about like, it's good when it's good, but it's bad when it's really.
Yeah, how do you
bad. And I
start?
don't, I don't like the bad part.
Well, I've never done like a hero dose.
What does that even mean?
Like you take it and you're like tripping.
Oh,
I don't
like
really
a whole
like to do
dose.
that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
macro.
What's like?
I
considered
I
a small?
microdose. I mean, I get chocolates, so I just have 2 chocolates.
Is it better in chocolate or like just in its pure form?
I've had both, and I think the pure form makes you a little bit more nauseous because it does mess with your stomach.
that. Yeah, see, I
Give me
can't
the
handle that.
chocolate.
Yeah,
Give me the
chocolate
chocolate
all
loaves.
day.
None of that like pure.
One of my
I-
buddies, like, he's like, I'm like, what you doing? And he was like, dude, I just took like a whole bar of mushrooms and I went to go see Avatar too. And I was like, you can do that? Like, while you're on shrooms, like, you can focus on this movie?
Oh hell yeah!
Right. See, I don't know. Right. So he was like, do you have no? He's like, it's so unbelievable.
Okay, so when I tell people, okay, so I used to be very against like weed and mushrooms, like any kind of drug.
Yeah.
I'm very for because I don't like calling them drugs. I like calling it medicine. I think that's what
yeah,
they are.
of course.
They're
Medicinal.
natural, exactly. And so with like mushrooms, when I explain to somebody who's never done them, mushrooms elevate you emotionally. And so you feel so attached to like everything. Like I could be on mushrooms right now and talking to you, but I would feel like a lot of gratitude and really thankful and really like really just like feeling it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I took mushrooms for my birthday this year and we went to Zion, which is a really beautiful national park. And they started to hit me and I came across this wild like deer and I started crying when I saw it because I was watching it eat and I just thought it was like the most beautiful thing to see this nature being in nature.
Wow.
And I felt so connected to it. I started crying.
Wow.
Like
Was it your
that's
first time?
mushrooms.
Was it your
No.
Were you in the right headspace though? Do you have? I'm sure.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like with any drug, you need to be in a right headspace. to
You
take
do
it.
for sure. Yeah, no, I just felt grateful and I just felt connected to it.
Did you
Like,
recommend it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody over there has tried it and they're all like trying to get me going, but
You definitely have to be like in the right place, right headspace for sure.
I think, and I was telling Los, if I ever did try it, we have to do it here with like just
In a controlled
yeah,
environment.
vibes are gonna have to be on point.
For sure.
Just so I can get an idea of what it is and how it feels.
I'd tell people that I feel like mushrooms have opened me up more as a human.
Wow.
Has allowed
Wait,
me.
already? You're already pretty open. I'm assuming.
I know.
Like how?
That's probably what sparked the whole 70s.
Maybe that's what inspired the Africa trip.
Psychedelic. I know, right?
Back to the Africa trip. You never know. Back to the Africa trip.
Low key, right?
No, but like mushrooms have just allowed me to accept what I don't know and just be okay with it.
Yeah.
But also
like
be
that.
accepting to everybody. So like, for example, like I'm not a big into politics or anything like that, but even like differing opinions about like, oh, I think that this city is better than this city. Like it doesn't have to be that deep, but to me, I'm like, I see both sides and both sides are really beautiful. You know what I mean? Like you're able to just like see things so much more open that there's just no judgment. And mushrooms have really given that to me, honestly.
Would you ever
You
try
really-
DMT?
I would.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate level of
Yeah.
psychedelics.
Yeah.
My guy tried it. He said it just killed his ego. Like he just saw
Yeah, I've
life.
heard that.
He
Bro,
said,
what if one day I take shrooms and I'm like, all right, bro, let's go to Africa.
He needs to go
Would
to
you go?
I would have a lot of questions first. I'll be like, first
go.
of all, like, where are we staying?
I know, right? I'm like, let's go. Bro.
I just
Let's not
researched
even book
this fucking.
Let's
I
not
just,
even book a hotel. Let's just
right,
go.
I just researched. Where were you at? A shelter.
Mozambique.
All the yeah.
I'll be like,
Bro,
damn.
imagine you
Um,
go through the whole like awesome.
I feel like when I'm
No
too
man
old,
phase.
if I was young, like if I was like early young, I probably would be down because I'm adventurous. I love doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm also a planner, dude. I can't just go in the wild and not know where I'm gonna be staying. Like I gotta know everything. That's how I work. So kudos to you for even going that route and just
Well, I did know where I was going, but I was going there by myself.
Right,
Trying to
that's-
just get there. Yeah. I stayed in a hostel.
and-
It was weird.
any close calls on like being attacked or injured or anything.
I'd
tell
say
us the
the
spicy
only
stuff.
thing is I was on the plane to London and I was sitting next to this old guy who's like 85 or so. And he was like, you want to split one of these pills? It was like a sleeping pill. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah, I'll split it with you. I took it. I was so naive.
wow.
Luckily, I turned out okay. But like, that's how naive I was at 19. Going to Africa by myself, taking this old man sleeping pill next to me.
All right.
Wow.
You know what? We've reached the point in our economy. Let's just do it. Like, it is what it is. COVID's right around the corner.
That is wild, dude.
I know. That was the
like,
closest
he could have
call.
called it in like
Bro, imagine.
we got her.
I know, right?
Sheesh.
She took it.
Did it work though? Did you knock out and all
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
What
By
was
the
in
time
that
I woke
pill?
up, I don't know.
What pill
It
makes
could
you
have been
knock
like
out?
a Xanax.
I was
or
gonna say if it's a
something.
pill and you're splitting it, Xanax. Because
I can't believe I took it.
the first time I ever went to Dubai, I had anxiety about this 14-hour flight.
Yeah.
This is like 2018. And somebody was like, take a half of Xanax, dude. You'll be good. And you know, I'm real big on like I don't really do drugs. Like anything
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I don't know. I do it. I don't even know what this is. And they were like, dude, just take it. Trust me. Dude, I took that half a bar and I slept 8 hours on a plane. So comfortable. And I remember waking up like, wow, that was half a bar. But it just, 8 hours went out like that. And I had 6 to go. And I was just like watching movies the rest of the time. I felt great. But
Wow.
I've also had half a Xanax like while drinking. And dude, you literally, what do they call you? Blackout. You don't remember anything you did. And you might not even, we could just be having a conversation, but the next day you
That's
really
literally
don't
all
know.
my life, bro. I just don't take Xanax.
Yeah, you forget.
Like that's me literally every single day because I'd be forgetting.
You do that low key notorious for that, man.
Yeah, bro. ADHD.
But look, we're already over an hour solid. Great conversation. I want to ask you, like, this is your first time here. What do you think of HQ? I know you did a little quick walkthrough, but I never got to ask you. Me and Ricky love to ask everyone that's been here for the first time, what do they think?
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you like
It really
it?
is. Yeah. I think it's amazing to have a space like this to be able to come and create and host people and just be, as an artist. I think to
Right.
have like that space is really important. So that's cool.
I'm glad.
It's
you like it.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see a lot of it the next 3 days.
I am excited for that.
Yeah, I
Are
know
you gonna have any takeaways for you to get back home in Vegas? You're like, I do need a light like that.
I do need
No, you know what I
honeycomb
need?
lights.
that
I need that
honeycomb lights.
entire white area right there.
The white wall.
The white wall.
Well, like I said it earlier, Ricky, would you be willing to bless her with a dope photo shoot in the next couple of days?
Shout out Ricky, man.
She got a dope look and she got some gear with her. So maybe I'm thinking Tuesday would be ideal after official Cuts
Tuesday,
Academy.
yeah, for sure.
So you're out here. You're not out here. You're just not out here for this podcast in Chicago. You're in the cut with Los Cut It, but you're also going to be doing official Cuts Academy. You're going to be talking to the students. I'm not sure if you're going to be cutting. We haven't made that. We haven't figured that out with Mr. Official. And you're also going to be doing a class for Kirby at what's his barbershop's name?
Artisans. in
Artisans
LA.
Fade. Yeah. So That's gonna be sick. Are you excited for that?
I am excited.
I didn't want to bring you out here just for the podcast because
Yeah.
I want to see if you get more because I know you're a big content girl. You could get content out of school. You could get content here at Kirby's class and at your own personal class. We can get content. So that's like
For
hopefully
sure.
a good month's worth of stuff that you can use.
Definitely.
You know, so we'll
Yeah.
Are you excited for that? Like, what are you expecting out of that?
Super excited. I mean, with Kirby, you know, him and I and most of his barbers and I have been following each other on Instagram since 2018 when I used to work out here. So I'm excited to connect with everybody and just like, it's crazy to see where I was then and where I am now. And
Now teaching in class.
yeah, yeah.
Do you get
I'm
nervous?
Yeah, I mean, I do. And like, you know, I was saying kind of before on my Instagram that I just started getting into education. So I kind of am just trying to find my flow and figure out how to teach people certain things. And I think in a way it does come natural, but I also believe that there is kind of some kind of order that you should follow. And I'm kind of like trying to figure that out.
Well,
so I do get nervous.
If I can help you with that is that the more you do it, you're going to eventually gain experience, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people feel like, oh, I've only been doing here for X amount of years. I'm not a professional like you, Los. I don't know much. But take that as your advantage because even though you only been doing it for 2 years, talk about what you've struggled in those 2 years and use that as your leverage to teach and all that. And as you keep doing it, you're going to realize two things. You're going to learn how to read a room. You're going to learn when you're going to have 50 people, 100 people, and you're going to know, okay, how much experience do I have in the room? One of my tips I like doing is like, hey, guys, today, this is my name. Today, I'm going to share with you what I know. But at the same time, I like to get to know the crowd. I'm gonna pick 10 of you guys, introduce yourself, tell me how long you've been doing hair, and what's one takeaway you want to get out of this class. I'll do 10 quick people depending on how many people are there. People will mainly be like, oh, I want to learn graphics. I want to learn how to do social media. Whatever the people tell you, then that gives me a nice foundation of what I can talk about. And if there's anything anyone else wants to add, cool. But with the experience, I've been educated 11 years now. What I've learned is 24 years cutting hair, 11 years as an educator. So I have mad experience. So basically, based on the room, I'll be able to know what I can talk about, you know. And if I get a mixture of beginners and vets, then I also say the most basic shit, but also bring in some information that I know the vets will appreciate. But that's gonna come with time, dude.
Yeah.
You can't educate in a year and then know all those things. You're gonna fuck up bad. Like there's gonna be times where your mind's gonna go blank and you're like, fuck. Or you're gonna say something and then you're gonna do it and it's not gonna work the way it happens. And you're like, fuck. But it just it happens and you gotta deal with it and you make it work.
I think the craziest thing for me is like I feel like I wanted to like accomplish what I have so far now, right? And I've like worked 5 years up to get that.
Yeah.
And now I see, oh, I want to be this kind of educator. And so I feel like I'm back at square one and I'm having to work up to that. And so I'm excited for that journey because I know that growth comes in the journey and it's all about the journey. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's also a very humbling place that I'm at right now because I'm like, okay, I'm here and I want to get to here. So it's
Dude,
exciting.
I didn't even know about you till last year.
Yeah.
So then I didn't even know you existed. And then I started finding out all types of stuff. Like, dude, she was at the MLB trade show in Chicago. She was this. She lived here. And I was like, because one thing about me, I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own lane.
Rock.
You know, so when I hear that people know about you and you've been around, it's just dope. Like, damn, look at where you're at now. Now I know who you are. Now I can appreciate that, especially who you are now. This is why I bring you on here because I want to get to know you, don't?
And too, though, I stayed very secluded for the longest time until this year. I didn't go to shows really. I didn't do a lot of things. I stay really far away from the industry, and like I just do because I feel like I flow better that way mentally. But I also realize how important relationships are, so I'm trying to be better at that.
Yeah,
And
But
you're just starting. Like,
yeah.
that just goes to show how good you.
dude, she went to the Las Vegas show by herself. And I bet you got a lot of love. A lot of people recognize you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen you right away. I seen the cool ass fit you had on. I'm like, oh, Ali Bussa. Bussa. I gotta get it right. Bussa.
It's okay. It's Busa, whatever.
Bussa. Ali Bussa.
But yeah, I think people ask me like, what could you tell like beginning barbers? And I'm like, build relationships because that's where everything.
Now what you know is who you know. Man.
Exactly.
And it's so cliche to say, but it's the damn.
It's
truth.
true.
Bro. All those cliche sayings are all true, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you could have never came out here with Kirby or Mr. Official and all that, but
Sure.
because I got to meet you and you were able to connect with me, I was able to put all that together, so you didn't waste your time coming back here twice, three times. And I'm always looking out for Mr. Official and the students there. Kirby's my guy. I'm starting to work with him more often. And I always admire Kirby for bringing a lot of major talent to Aurora, Illinois, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's gotten the Josh O'P's, the LaMonicas, the Kevin Lutchman, like people from the UK that people don't, probably right now, if you go to a barbershop in Chicago and you be like, you know who Kevin Lutchman? They're like, nah, bro. But Kirby's bringing that to his shop.
Yeah.
And so because anybody that's doing that to the industry, if I'm bringing somebody in, like, dude, let's all, let's all shine. Let's all get something out of it. It's not just me. It's not just this person. I get content. We get to share your story. You get all this. I'm going to give it to you.
So selfless, man. That's something that has got to be said, bro.
Thanks, man.
It's just one of those things, bro, that it'll come back to you like times 10.
It always does, bro.
I move
with a good karma, bro.
Yeah, you move very well.
I
think that's one of the main things that has had me stuck around with you, because you're always showing love. And that's authentic love, bro.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
I see that. And I think it's like kind of interesting to see that, especially because I am very, in a way, like protective of myself, where I'm like, the last 5 years I gained some relationships, but not really. But to know somebody of where you come from, of your status in our industry, and to see like that kind of like love that you give to people, I guess I wasn't expecting that from you. But to see that, it's
What'd you
really
expect?
cool.
What everybody always says. I thought you were this.
I definitely thought he was like a big douchebag.
We'll give it away. What was it? What is it?
Seriously, I was like, I always tell people all the time.
Hey, what is
I'm like, I don't post money. I don't post I don't like everything I post on social media has to do with the art of barbering and where it's gotten me. That's
not
my
because
focus.
your Instagram. I think just because like, I guess I just had a preconceived notion of who you were.
Your aura, bro. You're just amplifying so much masculinity.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Big masculine energy.
What do you call it? BDE.
But I try to balance them out. Sometimes I'm like, yo, Los, that's kind of too much Leo for you.
But you see, the being self-aware is what's helped me as I got older, because when I was younger, I was just a Leo. It was very natural to me to be arrogant and cocky, because I didn't know I was being arrogant. It was just, that's who I was. But as I got older and I got around people that are quick to humble me, especially this guy, he'd be like, yo, put the lion back in the cage, Los. And then that just signals me, all right, I'm fucking doing too much. So being self-aware allows me to control that part of me. But I realized as I got older as well, is just, dude, if you're good to people, man, if you move just right and just be honest with people, the right people will stick around. And whoever isn't meant to be is going to, obviously, they're going to fall off. So my team right here, dude, even that girl over there, 17 years I've been doing your hair, 18 years, whatever long I've been doing your hair. I've always just kept it 100 with everybody, man. I don't bullshit. I take care of you, you take care of me, and that's how we operate. And thanks, Los.
Yeah, and you also keep it like real, because at the end of the day, to really get to know somebody at like a really core level, you'd have to uncover so much layers and layers and layers, and it could get uncomfortable. Sometimes we do have like our friction moments, but like at the end of the day, like if you don't have those type of friction moments, you really don't know a person. You can't really get.
You can't just know the good. You got to know the bad.
Know everything, bro.
So whoever fell off this ride fell off, and salute to everybody. But I don't hate nobody. I tell people, like, just because I don't talk to you all the time doesn't mean I don't mess with you. Because even now, we were at the event with Mr. Official for Cuts for Gaza. There's a lot of people I haven't seen in years, dude. And sometimes I get the feeling that people think that, oh, here's Lowe's who thinks he fucking made it. And it's like, it's not even that, bro. Like, I'm just, when you go to another level, there's other shit you got to do that keeps you occupied. It's not my fault. You're still, you know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like, I try to come back when I can. And when I can, I try to be good and nice and respectful. But sometimes people just, they refuse. I'm all right, whatever. But overall, it was a good event. It was dope. I got to see a lot of cool people. And it takes me back to be like, damn, dude, I was here for 14 years.
I saw you post that, and I'm like, 14 years.
14 years, bro. I saw
that place and build it to what it is too. Like, it wasn't like I was just there. Like, when I was there, I remember this walking to Official Cuts at 18 years old to get my job interview. Opening the front door was when it was still illegal to smoke cigarettes indoors. Wow. So all these Arabian barbers had cigarettes. The clients had cigarettes. So the whole shop was full of smoke. And I don't even smoke cigarettes. And I was just like, this is where I'm going to work? I'm like, fuck it.
I never asked you, bro. How did you find Official Cuts?
They found me. Yak found me.
So they reached out and then you went to the interview?
Yeah, they hit me up. One of them was the guy that I cut. Yak also cut. And he was like, dude, I got this short. He was a monster and that. He had hit me up. And then I just went over there. And I was getting ready to go to boot camp because I dropped out of high school. So I'm going to go to boot camp and get my what is it? Not the diploma, but the
Certificate.
no, it's a certain word for it.
License.
No, it's like for high school, GED.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna go to boot camp for 6 months to get my GED. So I walked in there and I'm like, I'm down to work here, Yak, but I'm already gonna leave for 6 months, but I'll see you in 6 months. And he kind of looked at me, he's like, all right, bro, whatever. And 6 months later, I showed up and he was like, damn, all right, yeah, you start. And I started, and then from there,
Wow.
and I'm a loyal dude. Like, I'm loyal. If you fuck with me and you ride with me,
I mean, bro, I don't know what else would scream loyal more than 12 years.
14 years.
14 years.
14. That's
18 and got out of there right before 32.
That's loyalty right
Crazy.
there.
that's crazy.
And I seen barbers come and go. Barbers get fired. Barbers get arrested.
Sheesh.
Bro, I seen it all. That's why when it came time to me go on my own, I didn't want to open up a shop because I already witnessed what it was like to be a shop owner. And I was like, hell no, I want to be in my own room by myself where I know what I can control. And that's how it all started, being in my studio. And people thought I was crazy. Like, you're just gonna, how you gonna make money? You're by yourself. And I'm like, because the value is in the client. It's not the other barbers. The value is who's in your chair. So if I'm by myself with one person, that's all I need. And that's what started it. And then now everybody got a studio. You know, now that everybody got a studio, now I moved into this, whatever you want to call this, a bigger studio. So I'm hoping that by the time people start developing these type of concepts, where it's not just a barbershop, it's more of a creative space, I'll be at a whole nother level of creation. And that's the goal. And when I don't know how much you know about Carlos, but this guy, bro, I always tell people, and they'll tell you, I'm like, this guy's going to make it somewhere. Like, guarantee you're going to be with somebody, and not that you're not now, but dude, I've seen you from nothing to where you're at now, where you got, iPhone 15 shoots before they even drop. You're communicating with all these celebrities and you shuffle, like, bro, I mean, the list goes on. Like, and for you to still be as humble as you are, and this guy will do shit and not even post it. And then I'm like, bro, you were just on a boat with like Gary Vee. Like, how do you not want to be like, at least for yourself?
Yeah.
That's not his mission. He's just killing. Like,
He just wants to go to Africa.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all I want to do. Damn, you beat me to that bar. That was so good. I was literally going to say that. I'm like, all right, it's coming up. It's coming up. I didn't hit it.
nah, but all right, look. This is great, dude. We can keep going, and we are going to keep going, but we're going to feed you. We're going to make that decision in a little bit. But before we go, Allie,
Any last words?
it was a pleasure to have you here. I think it's going to be a great, amazing couple days. Anything you want to share with anyone?
Sony. That one.
There you go.
That little one.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Ali Bussa.
How do you spell it?
ALLIEBUSSA. Man, it takes a lot of work to get to where you want to go, and it's worth it. I promise.
Oh, yeah.
That's my last words.
All right,
Get
there you
happy.
go. That's a wrap. That was beautiful. Thank you, Allie. Salute. Let's get out of here, man. Woo. All right, let's get some. Yeah. That was dope.
Dude, that was dope.
Enjoyed it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.